The warnings were everywhere. Local guides whispered of ancient protections, of a venomous sleep that absolutely should never be disturbed. When Howard Carter finally breached the tomb of Tutankhamun, he found a promise etched into the stone. Death shall come on swift wings to him that disturbs the peace of the king. Then, the chilling proof began. Within months, Lord Carnarvon, the excavation's funder, died mysteriously. 7 others connected to the discovery followed, all dead in rapid succession. The world called it the curse of the Pharaoh. But what if the true curse wasn't a haunting? What if it was a biological tragedy? A medical storm that killed the boy king long before his tomb was ever opened? Tutankhamun's life was painfully short. He was only 19 when he died in 1323 BC. His death was abrupt. For decades, the theories were sensational. Was it a murder? A fatal chariot crash? Or a sudden blow to the head? But the real answers were never found in scrolls. They were locked inside the mummy itself, waiting for a technology that wouldn't exist for 3 millennia. In the early 21st century, scientists began what was essentially a virtual autopsy. Using CT scanners and DNA sequencing, they ran over 2,000 digital scans. They weren't looking for treasure. They were looking for infection, trauma, and most crucially, the condition of his DNA. The high-tech autopsy revealed something stunning. Not a warrior king or a murder victim. It was a teenager ravaged by disease, burdened by a genetic flaw that had haunted his royal line for generations. This wasn't death by an enemy's dagger. This was the catastrophic result of a sacred, yet disastrous, pharaonic tradition. To truly understand Tut's death, we have to look at his family tree. DNA analysis delivered a stunning, but historically unsurprising, confirmation. Tutankhamun was the product of incest. His parents were almost certainly full siblings. For pharaohs, this was a matter of divine custom. They were gods who could only marry their equals. But genetically, it is a time bomb. It severely concentrates every inherited flaw in the child. For Tut, the result was a life of physical impairment. Scans revealed a cleft palate and scoliosis. But his real struggle was with his foot, a condition called avascular necrosis, where bone tissue literally dies due to lack of blood supply. This made him functionally disabled. His tomb held 130 walking canes. Many showed heavy, constant use. This was no king leading a charge. This was a frail boy who struggled simply to walk. This one fact changes all the theories. A violent, external death becomes much less likely when you realize the king was already in chronic pain, with a massively compromised immune system. His body was already a battleground. And then, at the very end of his short life, one single event triggered the final, fatal chain reaction. Forensic analysis focused on a crucial piece of evidence, a compound fracture in his left leg. This was no accidental damage. The break was unhealed, with embalming resin found deep inside the wound. This means the injury happened right before his death. Whether he simply tripped or fell, this broken leg created a massive open wound, a perfect pathway for deadly infection in a world without antibiotics. But the infection wasn't just common bacteria. The DNA results isolated the true killer. The microorganism that delivered the fatal blow, Plasmodium falciparum, the parasite responsible for the deadliest form of malaria. Tut was already weakened by genetic illness. The fracture meant his body was in shock. When the high fever and systemic shutdown of severe malaria hit, his frail body simply had nothing left. The final, official scientific conclusion is not a dramatic single-event murder. It is a deadly cocktail of his inheritance and an unstoppable opportunistic infection. The curse never killed Lord Carnarvon. It was likely just a common infection. But the real curse, the one that ended this powerful dynasty, was simply the curse of DNA. It's a powerful lesson in history, science, and the cold, unyielding laws of biology that even a pharaoh could not escape.